Good morning, brothers and sisters. Have you shouted for joy and behold the Lord today? The practice of beholding the Lord has helped me a lot recently, especially in beholding God's glory and thinking of His love. For His love is the most precious among all His glories. I also take notice of the image of Abba. I really treasure that He meets me with His loving kindness. Abba is very happy when I draw near Him every day. I also look into how the Lord gazes at me. It's really precious. There is Song of Solomon in the Bible. To Him, I'm altogether beautiful. There is no flaw in me. He even asked me to turn away my eyes from Him, for they overwhelm Him. The Lord asked me to turn away my eyes from Him. I hope you understand He really doesn't mean that. He wants to let you know how enjoyable He is when we focus on Him. How precious. We have sang the hymn yesterday, Looked Away, Look to Jesus, the first stanza. The lyrics were very good. Today I'd like to sing with you the second stanza. So let us sing together. Again, there is no English version. You can read slowly in the prescription. You can meditate the translation as you read along. My eyes are those behind my veil. The Lord is overwhelmed, for I captured His heart. My hope overflow within me by faith. Overcome enemies and the world. With my head raised up, may my temples behind the veil, thinking of the heavenly things. My meditation is sweet to Him, shouting for joy by the Lord every day. I am more than conquerors through Him. It's so precious in the lyrics. In Song of Solomon also mentioned my temples behind the veil. It meant that we are face to face with Him alone. Our hearts and thoughts are thinking of Him. My meditation is sweet to Him. And also in Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17 mentioned, God will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by His love. He will exalt over you with loud singing. It's really precious. Not only we sing for the Lord sings loudly for us too. The Lord rejoices over us, and even He sings loudly because of us. It's so treasurable when we think of Him. That makes Him so happy and satisfied. How much more that we are so responsive to Him. We sing, we praise, and we preach for Him. We see how glorious that the Lord is received. And He's so satisfied and joyous that He can live with us. I hope we can practice more. We draw near Him with our eyes, our hearts, our mind, and even our body to enjoy and be close to Him. May the Lord bless us. The verses I'd like to share with you is in the letter to Philemon, there's only one chapter, verse 12 to 15. And it said, I'm sending him back to you, sending my very heart. I would have been glad to keep him with me, in order that he might serve me on your behalf during my imprisonment for the gospel, but I prefer to do nothing without your consent, in order that your goodness might not be by compulsion, but of your own accord. For this perhaps is why he was parted from you for a while, that you may have him back forever. Paul mentioned him was Onesimus. He was the servant of Philemon. He may escape and took some of Philemon's some valuable things with him. He ran away to Rome, which was about 1,400 miles. How precious that the Lord made Paul met Onesimus. What might happen was Paul has preached to Onesimus, whom received the salvation. Though this hasn't changed his identity as a slave, and Onesimus stayed with Paul and served beside him, had helped Paul a lot. But Paul knew the background of Onesimus, so he didn't keep Onesimus, for the slave was belonged to his master at that time. Therefore Paul wrote to Philemon and hoped Philemon accept Onesimus again, and the wordings used were very good. It mentioned Onesimus was his very heart. I won't explain what it meant. I'm sure you know well, for you also have your very heart. Your very heart is the one you love most, you miss most, and the one who is the most important to you, someone whom you are willing to give up your everything. Paul wrote to Philemon and hoped he could accept Onesimus the same way as how he accepted Paul. For Philemon, he had all the rights to treat Onesimus whatever he wanted, to put him into prison, to punish him, or to ask for compensation. All these were acceptable, but Paul didn't want things turned up this way. He wanted Philemon to accept Onesimus the way he accepted as brothers in Christ, not only to forgive him, and Paul hoped Philemon could gain him forever. From the letter to Philemon, Paul sounded very gentle and not by force, to order Philemon that he must accept Onesimus. Paul eagerly anticipates from his heart that Philemon accepted his brother in order to gain him forever. I also appreciate Philemon, who was the one who suffered. Onesimus escaped and stole his belongings, but Philemon could forgive and accept from his heart. To love Onesimus and respect him. We can gain someone only if we can accept him with a pure heart, whether a brother or a sister. Brothers and sisters, we shall make every brothers and sisters to be our very heart, to gain brothers and sisters forever. I like to tell you a story. There was a lady and her husband was the most loved of couple. Their son was getting married soon. They call each other sweetly every day. For example, honey, love, darling. Whether they sat down or stood up, these couples were always together. They either held their hands or sit side by side. The husband would open the door for his wife or pull the chair in or out for his wife in order she could sit comfortably. He treated his wife like a princess or a queen. I have failed to introduce his wife named as Maisie. One time, Maisie was having an afternoon tea with other ladies. Then they talked and shared about their husbands. The wives would complain how they were badly treated, how difficult their husbands were to be served. Only Maisie was sitting at the corner and kept silent. Then the lady asked Maisie how she could get along with her husband. What was the trick? Then Maisie replied gently and said, "All the things you have done, make him a cup of tea or hand him the slippers, all these I didn't do at all. My husband knew that I was very busy with my work. he wouldn't nag at me. Instead, he did all the housework, cooking and cleaning. He did a lot of household work for me. My husband has treated me very nice, so I neither complain nor broke my temper. I have been married for nearly 30 years. I always tell myself to give a happy face to my husband. Maisie has shared an experience one time how she gained her husband's heart. Her husband told Maisie that he wanted to invite his male friend to come home for dinner. He wished Maisie could help him to prepare the dinner for his friends. He has learned to cook and she agreed to help him out for dinner. Then she bought a lot of seafood on Sunday, a lot of meats and vegetables to serve her husband's friends on Wednesday. Not only Maisie had to take a half day off decorating the house and do the cooking, at 6 o'clock in the evening it was raining heavily. The time has come but nobody turned up. Was it because of the pouring rain or there was the traffic jam that they were late? They have waited for half an hour but nobody turned up. The husband then rang and asked his friend. After the conversation on the phone, her husband was so frustrated and laid on the sofa. Maisie asked her husband and said, "So, what happened?" The husband replied helplessly and said, "I'm sorry, Maisie. I make a terrible mistake. I mixed up the date. It should be next Wednesday instead." Then Maisie really gone mad, for she has made an effort to prepare and do the cooking. Her husband got the date wrong. Maisie really wanted to burst into tears. She really wanted to break the temper and scold him. And the husband knew he had made a terrible mistake. He dared not to make a sound. Maisie was thinking how to deal with this man. If she really broke her temper, her husband really has nothing to say, but it didn't do any good for their children. She thought if the prisoner on the death row could grant an amnesty, the prisoner on the death row would give thanks and be unforgettable for life. Maisie thought of the relationship in the family. If she could forgive him, instead, she would gain her husband's heart. She was so happy to do so. So she put away her grievance and anger. She held her husband's hand kindly and considerately. She said to him, "Love, thanks for the Lord that we can have an abundant meal. Can we get them to come out for dinner? I will go and warm up the soup." At that moment, Maisie wouldn't forget how her husband gazing at her, how appreciated he was. The whole family enjoyed the abundant dinner together. Then Maisie's husband said, "How about we eat out with them next Wednesday?" But Maisie, so his wife didn't have to labor a lot again. But Maisie insisted to proceed as planned, so the guests could enjoy her cooking. Though she had to labor again, but Maisie saw the way how her husband treated her. All are so worthy for Maisie to put up with him. How we can gain someone's heart forever. It's true, we need to blame sometimes to point out the wrong, but at the end of the day, we have to accept him, but not to forsake him. You will gain him in the end, for you love him. You're willing to forgive him? The Lord is our role model. He commands us to love one another as he loved us. May the Lord help us to gain brothers and sisters around us. May the Lord bless us.